Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 21st episode of this live stream. So it's really great to have Sean and Elando. I mean, Sean's a regular and Elando's pretty regular as well. Let me just...
I don't have a choice.
Yeah, well, Elan's really good at coming on when I need a guest. And it looks like we've got some of the Americans like TK in as well, but I'll go through that. So this is the start of a new sort of show that we're going to do every now and again, so called Collector's Corner. So we're going to grill Elan on some things related to his collection, and there'll be a chance later on for you to ask questions as well. So we take some questions from the chat. I will be selecting them though, so if they're too 18, then I'll probably skip them. So if we can try and keep them PG or at least 15, that would be good. So that's more or less what we're going to be doing today. Just to let a few more people get into the room, let's start off with a pocket check, shall we? So and maybe talk about the beverage that you have with you. So should we start with you, Elan?
Oh, okay. Water.
That's always good, and love to see
Randy mug and a Randy hat.
Oh, that's great.
I'm fully sponsored. Today, I've been carrying a Higa no Kami.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, a Higa no Kami, which I actually really like. I've actually grown to really become quite fond of the Higa no Kami. So yeah, it's really good actually. I quite like
lightweight carry as well.
Lightweight, yeah, really. The Kaweco Sport as a fountain pen, but as you can see, I've dropped the ink, so I've filled the entire barrel with ink, and then I put silicone grease on the threads to stop the ink leaking.
Okay,
so
you like to live life on the edge, then, yeah.
Yeah. You can put an O-ring there as well if you want to be extra safe. But yeah, it's completely solid. It's not gonna leak on me. What else do I have? I'm not carrying that much actually. I've got a little Ace Beam Pokerlight AA.
Oh, nice.
Where it's got like three settings to it.
Yeah,
you can see the reading light, and then a Super Tinker. That's it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Nice and minimal. That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Elan. And
you're welcome.
Sean, what are you carrying and drinking today?
Well, I'm drinking at the moment. I've got a coffee. I've also got some squash.
That's cool. I might need to change. I might need to change this up a bit. It's only me that's on the beer still. But yeah, that's cool. And,
you should stop inviting a teetotaler.
And what are you carrying, Sean?
So I'm carrying this now. Tony Blade in Wales will recognise this. The Otter Hippy Dippy, as Tony likes to call it. Their version of a sodbuster.
Yeah.
Butcher's knife, goat knife, whatever you want to call it. Great little knife. An 84mm Sportsman, which is the one with a little nail file on it. And also this little beauty, little slip joint.
You know, it's funny, you know, because I have one very similar to that. But I'll yeah.
And that's the only ones I'm carrying in my pockets. been surrounded by knives today.
Yeah.
Cleaning some old knives. So yeah.
I saw in the Discord you've been out shopping. So
how many was it, Sean? How many in total?
I bought 19.
That's my entire collection, Sean. You can only have one more.
Some of them are kind of project knives, let's say, and possible parts knives.
There were some real corkers there, though, weren't there? Real corkers there. Some of the mother of pearl ones. Yeah.
Okay. Are we going to see some of those a little bit later?
I've got one or two here, still in the process.
Cool.
So yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, I'll do mine. I'm drinking a Lef Blonde, which is going down very nicely, and I thought I'd go for quality over quantity. So there's that. In my pockets, I've got this today, which arrived. I bought it from Mikey, and it's my first Joseph Rogers, and I'm rather pleased with it actually.
Yeah.
It's got a nice, easy pull. It's an interesting pull because it takes a little bit just to get it, just to get the blade out, but not too much. And then it's quite loose, and then it locks up quite well. I really like the action on that. But as you can see, it's nice and simple, and a nice bulbous end.
Yeah, big fan of those.
Yeah, but really good. And Mikey being Mikey, he popped in one of these as well, which I quite like. It's a tiny little thing, but it fits in the fifth pocket well. And then I've also been carrying my Zippo, which this is a battered one. My son got me a secondhand Zippo a while ago, and then I misplaced it, and I found it when I was cleaning out my car couple of days ago, so I've been using that to light the log burner, and that's it really. The usual stuff as well, the Gerber shard, which I always have, which is great for opening beer, and with the Olight Mini 2, which that's just so useful, just having it on my key ring.
Yeah.
So I've been keeping it simple as well. Let's just have a quick look just to see who's in the chat. We've got a few people there already. Some people came super early, such as Marco and Mikey. We've also got Chuck. And
every day, mate.
Dave. We've got Tony here. So Tony's been busy messaging everybody, which is great. TK as well. And let's just check down. We've also got Benny. So great to have you here as well. And Nige. Good to have you here, Nige. Yeah, I know. There's sort of like over 18 as in knives, and then there's over 18. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all under 18 maturity, you know.
And I think is Joy in the chat as well. Did I see that? I can see if you are, then welcome. That's good to have Slippy as well. And hopefully I haven't missed anybody. Brian. Who's Brian?
Brian, grandson to Joy's grandson.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And Cloud Alien here from Edinburgh. So hopefully I haven't missed anybody. If I have, keep posting and I'll find you eventually. It's all down to me because Sean's on his phone today, so he won't be able to see the chat, and neither can Elan. So let's get on with it and show some knives. But the first question for Elan is about what made you collect pocket knives?
Oh, could we have like the mastermind you know, dun, 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 dun.
We need to have the chair as well.
Why do I collect pocket knives? I wouldn't say I did this on purpose. I just feel naked without one, even when I am naked. I just didn't collect them on purpose. One day I turned around and I had like 10 of them. So that's what happens. That's what happens. You just sort of turn around, and then one day you turn around, you open the door, and you go, "Gosh, I've got a lot of these, haven't I?" You know, that's just what happened. I just sort of
it sort of snuck up on you. Was
that? I got one for bushcraft, and then I got one Victorinox, and then I misplaced that Victorinox, got another Victorinox, found the old Victorinox, decided I needed one for the car, for the kitchen, that weird drawer in the kitchen, just all over the place. You just have like little something all over the place, open boxes near the hallway to the house and stuff. Yeah, so it's just you just end up having handy little things all over the place. Yeah. That's it. That's how I ended up. I didn't deliberately start collecting them. I just turned around one day and I just had.
Yeah. Was it the same with you, Sean, as well?
Very similar. It kind of that rings a bell. I didn't, and I don't think any of us actually suddenly wake up one day and think, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend all the money I've got on pocket knives, and then not carry most of them. Bought my first pocket knife when I was a youngster, and always sort of had a pocket knife. And then I think you see different models, don't you? And you buy them, and as a kid, they used to get lost. You'd see your mates would have a new pocket knife, and let's have a look at that. And, oh yeah, that's all right, that's nice. So you start broadening your horizons, and then I think for a long time, my sort of early adult years, I didn't have very many pocket knives at all. I had always had some, but it was a limited amount, which got carried and got used, and kind of ended up now in a totally different place.
Yeah.
I don't know what actually changed.
Did you start wearing cargo pants like I did?
You mean so you have more pockets? Is that?
Yeah, you just have all these pockets, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, it keeps slipping, and then you need a belt, and then you get like a really chunky belt, and then all you do is wear these cargo trousers full of stuff in them, really heavy stuff in them.
Yeah.
I used to just carry a single-bladed pocket knife for a long time in my early adult years, really. For work and just to have one to use, day to day. And then I came across Victorinox knives and really sort of got the bug with those, but only had a couple. I think I had 3 initially. And I always carried a Victorinox, quite often with another knife, but sometimes, a lot of the time on its own, just because of how handy it was, having all the other sort of tools on the knife, even the sort of basic models.
Yeah.
But then, I think you get other hobbies as well, and that kind of influenced the knives I was carrying. Being outdoors, doing outdoor stuff. Sort of the the Victorinox Hunter with the saw was always handy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know quite how I've ended up just blatantly collecting knives at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, we've all got bad influences around us, don't we, Sean?
I think the Discord group is the worst influence for.
Taking no responsibility myself.
Yeah, Slippy's catchphrase doesn't help either.
No, and because I think I was the same. I think I'd always had a penknife as a school kid, or going fishing and things like that. But until recently, I'd only had one knife. One knife at a time. Had one, lost one. Maybe a couple, maybe a camping knife and stuff like that. But certainly after going in the Discord group and after watching a lot more YouTube and starting the channel, then I started to sort of collect. I still don't think of myself as a collector like some of you guys, but I think I'm gradually getting there. Anyway, let's go on to the next question, shall we? So let me just pull that up. What was your first one then, Elan? I'm talking knives here, by the way. We won't.
Oh, okay. It was the summer of 2010. God, she was beautiful. No, sorry, did I say she? I meant he. No, no, it was. I was given a pocket knife by my granddad when I was 6 years old. It was like probably one of my first times I was given maybe a responsibility over something. It felt like I was I was given a bit of responsibility, a bit of independence. I was given an ambassador, a Victorinox ambassador, and I carried that every day for years until I wore down the blade, and then he gave me another one. He would get them with work, with the company he worked for logo on it, and he just gave me another one, and then I carried that until it was confiscated. When I went to France, and that's all I carried basically for years and years. It was just I did have like a little. It wasn't quite a Stanley. It was like a Stanley knife, but it was more like a cutting blade for using on the cutting mat, to cut through things and stuff. I did carry one of those for a while. I think around 2016, something like that. I ended up buying my first Mora to do my own bushcraft. To start, doing some bushcraft and stuff. Then I got an Opinel. Because they sell them everywhere in the hiking shops around where I live. It's sort of like you get the Victorinox, you get the Opinel, and get Mora. That's what's available, and it's just sold everywhere, and everyone has one somewhere. And when I was little, I loved going into the woods. Basically, I just loved going into the woods, And when you got your own pocket knife, that day you felt like a man. It's sort of hard to explain. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you walked with a little bit of a swagger when you were kid.
And finding excuses to use it,
Yeah, and you were there with all your mates, and the first thing you did was cut your index finger open, and then you learned to never do it again. Or you ended up holding it, and because Victorinox is a spear point blade, you're not quite used to which side is the. When you're early on with slip joints, you press a lot on the back spring when you're little. So you end up holding the knife the wrong way around. But I did everything with that little knife. Every Christmas, I'd make all the little Airfix models, or, I'd be there on the table making them when I was little, and I'd be off in the woods. I'd have to ask, actually. I do have the knife that I took to the woods with me. It was my granddad's knife he'd had since his 50s when he started as an apprentice, but I'd have to ask specifically for that.
Oh, hang on. We've got.
Hey,
how we doing, guys?
What's going
I'm surprised they're not sharing the same chair.
We have been. We have to drag this one in.
Okay.
I've just moved him over.
With Mikey would be here, but he's taking a dump.
Oh, yeah. That's
Can
usual.
you hear us okay?
Oh, he's going to be there for like 2 hours then.
Yeah, we can hear you well. So it's good to have, yeah. Sorry to interrupt your reminiscing, Elan, but TK asked to join, and I thought it was a great opportunity to have our friends.
Is that a new
here
T-shirt,
and from
John?
across.
I bought this today because
He was cold.
we had only brought a T-shirt because I thought we were just going to pop in and out of like some thrift stores.
Yeah.
But then we found the flea market, which was an outdoor flea market. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it without something. So we bought this at the gas station as we filled up.
Yeah. Yeah, Bucky's is an institution over there, isn't it, really?
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's a very large gas station.
Huge.
Very large.
Everything's huge.
Oh, how would you tell us what you've been up to altogether?
Knives.
Well, first off, hello and good to see you, boys.
Yeah.
Hiya.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Sorry, I'm being rude.
Oh, there were some disappointed people that you weren't doing your show at 6 o'clock. I mean, Tony was asking everybody where it was. So.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we did it a little bit early, just based kind of on when we were driving. So when did we end up going live? Was it about 11 something?
It was 11 our time, so we would have been, and we went forward an hour here, so it probably would have been about.
Yeah, and the time has changed, so it would be
4 our time, your time, I think.
Yeah, it would only have been 5 your time when it was noon, so it would have been what, 4 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. I can see why I missed it then.
Yeah.
We thought about doing one, and then we just let's just go out and look for knives instead.
I don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
Have you got some of them with you?
We have some to share.
I've got some over there, some up there.
Oh,
I did pick up this one earlier in the week. This is I have to go close to the camera. This is a buck for.
Here, I'll zoom in for them.
Oh, that's my hand.
Yeah, that's his crotch, John.
Buck 422. It's basically a buck light. It's like 112 sized finger grooves.
Yeah. Is it lightweight with like plastic handles and stuff?
Yeah, it's like plastic handles. Before they started doing the FRN style, it's just it's like a cross weave on it, but it's exactly the same as a size as a 112. It's a little bit thicker, but it was pretty much untouched, just sharpened maybe a few times, but it's in great condition. That's one of the first ones I picked up. I think that was $20, I think.
Wow.
Pretty much a new knife. John's picked up about 800 buck 110s. 3 in 4 days.
Yeah, 3 and 4 days. I just keep finding good ones for good prices. So I found 3 days in a row, good one.
And I have this. As I said, I did say I'd carry it while I'm here.
Yeah.
It's my lin slip.
Yeah.
I've got a Schrade stock one with the ivory Delrin.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
That's a nice one.
It's pretty much immaculate.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of like a dirt on the. Can't really see it, John. Can you zoom me in?
Yeah, hold on.
It's got a little bit of dirt in the Delrin that I can't really get off. I'm gonna have to put in the ultrasonic cleaner to finish it off.
Yeah.
There we go. So you can see a little bit of dirt in there, but it's nothing bad.
It's just gonna blur.
Yeah. But you can see the blade, it's like untouched. All I've done is put an edge on it really and polish it a bit. But it's great.
Lovely clip points on that.
Yeah, that's really nice, that one. Mikey's being selfish still. Would you like to see one of the 3 110s John picked up?
Yes, go on.
Where's here's the square bolstered one. This is, what age is this? 80 to 70, 74 to 80?
Yeah, 74 to 80.
Yeah, 74 to 80 with the squared bolsters.
Do you know when they changed to the rounder ones, John?
90s, wasn't it? Because that 92's rounded bolsters.
Yeah. Don't have the exact year devoted to memory, but right in
if I move forward, you can see a bit better, but that's in great shape.
Well, yeah.
That's one of the ones we've been polishing up and stuff, but the grain on the wood on this one is excellent. I don't know if it's going to pick it up on the camera. You can see it just about there. Look.
Yeah, that's it.
That's really nice. And then you found quite a rare one, didn't you? Which was This one here. So this is a 1992, and that's the year they changed from 425 to 420. And the way they designated that is, so the tang stamp for 92 was just like a hyphen, you know, like a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they changed to 420, they put 2 bars to distinguish what was a 425 and what was a 420. So this is a very early 420 HC with 2-bar tang stamp. So this is the latter half of 92.
Right. So
significantly
less of those tang stamps than your normal year.
Yeah.
So that's quite a rare one. And you got that for an absolute steal. Was you pay $30 for that?
30.
$30 for that.
It looks barely used, John.
It is. I put an edge on it and we polished it up. That's it. Mikey cleaned the joints out, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But that's a nice sort of piece of history where they changed steels.
Yeah.
And what was the other one you picked up?
It was just a more recent one.
This is a more recent one, but it was a price.
2019, I think.
Yeah, but it was a price you can't say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You basically robbed them almost, John.
Well, that 92 one, he basically robbed them. I looked online afterwards, and they're like $100 plus.
Yeah. Have you got the walnut one with you? The walnut 112.
I can go and get it.
Yeah, that's a really beautiful one.
This was my primary pickup from the show.
Chavez.
Attack. We talked about that on our live. I don't know. Tiny ass knife is what it stands for.
Yeah.
And it's the Elmax blade steel on it. We had the opportunity to meet the fellow that makes it, the Ramon fellow. And got my picture taken with him, and he signed the box. And here, I even have the box here. I can show you.
Good job we were all prepared for this.
Yeah. There you go.
Then, yeah.
So yeah, he signed the box for me, and we had a photo together. And very cool.
Cool.
And,
I know somebody who would have loved that pocket clip, John.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
very Randy style, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Is he back?
He's coming
Mikey's
now.
back? Okay, I think he'll be back in a minute.
But I got the distressed brown leather sheath, and compared to the black one, the leather is so supple compared. It's just really soft.
Nice.
And this is the fully nickel silver with the.
Oh, I'm just going to close my eyes because I know I'm going to make myself bankrupt if I keep looking at that.
There we go. That's the walnut.
Oh,
gorgeous.
It is nice. It's nice with the silver, with the nickel silver as well.
And that is in Magna Cut.
Yeah.
And I've got the finger grooves as well.
Do you prefer finger grooves or do you prefer no
the finger grooves? Are great. I wasn't sure, but now I've got them. When they literally fit my fingers perfectly. Like it's right in the grooves.
Yeah.
So if you get the option, I would pay the extra for the finger grooves.
Yeah.
If I was to get another one, I'd be putting finger grooves on it. A couple more things I picked up. So Sean, you got a hobo knife recently. I found this is a colonial. Look at the condition of that.
Wow.
And it's one of the ones that fully disassembles itself into 3 bits.
Yeah.
So you've got the fork, the blade with the can opener and the spoon. So you get your cutlery.
Oh, that's cool.
I love the way it disassembles. It wasn't this clean when I picked it up. It was kind of like jammed up with some gunk, but just cleaned it off a bit and it literally fits together perfectly now.
Really good value on that one.
Yeah. They had that up for $50 and we bought a load of stuff, and by the time it was done, it was maybe about 25.
Yeah.
Right.
And then this is one that I didn't think I would buy. So it comes in this tin. So it's a American Blade Works, ABW. It's a custom maker or a very small business that we saw at the show. And it's actually a modern slip joint.
Yeah, didn't Mike? Was it Mike McLaughlin who told us about that one?
Yeah. So it's fully sort of milled titanium.
Cool. Yep.
And there's their logo on the pivot. It's probably not going to show. And it's got a really cool sort of nearly a lamb's foot, I would say, but it does get smaller to one end, and that's in Magna Cut as well.
Yeah.
And that was $130, I think, $140.
Oh, that's very affordable for Magna Cut steel and titanium.
Yeah, there's on the top here, but it's superb. Half stop. But we spoke to them for quite a while. It's literally a husband, wife that make it in their shed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was
I love
worth
it.
The
grind is amazing, isn't it?
What's the grind? Is it a hollow grind?
It's hollow ground as well, yeah. See how thin it is behind the edge if I hold it this way?
Yeah.
It's very slicey, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
but
a great
thick on the spine as well, which is great.
Does it say the name of the top of the bolt?
It says Magna Cut.
Magna Cut. Okay.
Magna Cut, yeah. Well, that was AmericanBladeWorks.com if anyone wants to check them out.
Very reasonably priced.
Yeah, and they're very nice people to talk to. We spoke to them for quite a while. 140, I think, 130, 140.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the exchange rate is favourable for the guys in the UK at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was great. Mikey. No, he's still not here.
He's
Go, you two talk amongst yourselves now. Wait for Mikey.
well,
I don't want to steal your whole show.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's drop you off for a bit, and
Go
then when Mikey's back, come on again for a bit. Yeah, be cool.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
All right. Good.
That's great. Okay. Cheers, guys. Right. Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of
I know this is the thing, and I mean, I've been quite jealous just of seeing the people going to antiques fairs and things, just in the UK.
Yeah,
seeing them there as well.
Oh, it puts a smile on my face. All the little videos they've been putting up and all the little pictures and stuff. It just makes me so happy seeing the three of them finally getting to meet each other and have a whale of a time and stuff. Yeah,
that's one of the best things.
Yeah.
Yes, we're talking about the first knife. So what was the knife that sort of you think triggered your collecting sort of more recently? Was there one that sort of stood out for you that made you think that you need to have some more of these?
Ooh, that's a difficult one. What I can remember is I bought a buck 110 and another Opinel at the same time, and I can just remember like really getting a lot of use out of them at that time.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know that you could have, like the modern folders in the UK. I didn't realize that you could legally have those. For example, I knew you could have like a bushcrafting fixed blade and things like that, but I didn't on backlogs. But I didn't realize you could have the modern frame locking knives. I didn't really. So it's very easy to fall into that trap right at the beginning where you're just going straight and for the modern fancy flippers and all the different opening and locking mechanisms and. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but those two are the actual ones that really got me into knives. I think there's something magical about holding an Opinel or well, not for you, Mark, but for me, or a buck 110 in your hand. It's like it's different to everything you've held before. Somehow, it's just sort of like it feels solid. Do you know what I mean? It just sort of.
I think it's interesting. I think there's a very personal connection, and I think that's why some people like Opinels and some people hate them. And some people like Spydercos and some people hate. It's a very personal connection.
Yeah.
So how about you, Sean? What was the knife that sort of started off your sort of collecting? That, you know,
Ooh,
was there a trigger?
I don't think there was really. I think I kind of would pinpoint the start of my amassing a little bit of a collection would have been in my mid-20s when I started to buy a couple more knives, rather than just buying them to sort of use every day.
Yeah.
But, you know, a couple of others that I liked and thought, I'll carry them. I might carry that on you know, if I'm going somewhere nice or got a certain job to do, you know, something for working in the garden or something like that. But it's really difficult to kind of pin it down for me as to when, you know, what triggered it. And I think when I look back at some of the knives I had early on as a youngster anyway, some of them were bloody awful.
I know what you mean. I used to get them down our local market.
Yeah.
I think I've sort of lost them all. As I said, I was always losing stuff. But I mean, some of them were pretty poor, I think.
There were this sort of Chinese book copies that you couldn't sharpen no matter what you did. I mean, you could get it sharp, but it just wouldn't stay sharp. You know, if the wind blew in the wrong direction, it'd be blunt. And I mean, nowadays, you know, there's some decent knives coming out of China. It's some really good stuff. But back then, I don't really remember picking up a Chinese knife and thinking it was really good quality. The Japanese knives were good back then and still are, I think. But and I think once you started carrying them and using different knives, you kind of got more of an idea about what the different blade shapes were better for. You know, so that steered my kind of buying a little bit, I think, as well. I'll get you know, a lamb's foot or a sheep's foot blade, you know, for different things to or a spear point. So that, I mean, I don't know. Was it just an excuse to buy another knife? Probably.
The funny thing is, I joined the Discord and I didn't know about the blade shapes or the names of the locking mechanisms and, you know, all of that sort of stuff. I sort of, through osmosis, I've picked all of that up, the blade grinds, the different things, how to maintain them, things like that. I just, you know, I knew how to sharpen a knife, and that was about it, really. It's just something I've picked up through osmosis, through being in the Discord, you know, chatting to you all and, you know, becoming friends with you all and just sharing knowledge and passion for something. It's just, there's an element of it that's a bit pocket jewelry, I have to admit. You know, because
this sort of shiny stuff that we put in our pockets, and
our eyes just light up, you know. Or if you're like Tony, you know, you already put mine already in the chat before a sale starts, and then just click enter, and you don't even know what the knife is going to be. No, it's it's just fantastic. There is a knife that changed my direction in collecting, and I know definitely which knife that was, because I always wanted a Sheffield knife, but it's not something as readily available where I am.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something I can find in an old hardware store or the old...
have you got it with you by any chance?
Farmers shops and things. Sorry? Do I have it with me?
That knife with you?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I bought a Michael May Clip Point Barlow on my birthday. This was the knife, basically. I bought it as a gift for myself on my birthday, and I don't think I bought a traditional at that point. I bought modern slip joints, or an Alox or things like that, but I hadn't bought a traditional handmade knife,
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with this thing, and I just couldn't stop carrying it. It just quickly rose to being my most carried knife, and I couldn't really understand why. It just felt different in my hand. The weight of it had a bit more weight to it. The carving of the back springs, it just sort of, every time I pulled it out, I just ended up staring at it and then doing the task. I just sort of admired it. And then it just sent me down a rabbit hole of searching for knives with fantastic history, something historical to them.
Yes.
I think a channel called Stefan Schmalhaus was one that I watched a lot back then. I think he went, and it wasn't about the knife; it was about the history of the knife, or history of where it's made, or how it's made, and things like that. And then I ended up picking a non-tournaise, a French knife, because I wanted something with a Celtic connection. This knife.
Yeah,
because it's got the Druidic symbol that's thousands of years old stamped on the blade there.
Hang on. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. It's really lovely. It's basically like the great granddad of the Opinel, basically.
Yeah.
So it's got that ball end there. It's got like different shapes that you could get, like carp, tail, a clog, a ball, and the idea is that people would have like belts or string, during the 17th century, things like that. So it would hang on their belt then, right there, basically. And you just walk around with it. Yeah. So they've been making knives there for hundreds and hundreds of years. Like they made the blade that knighted Joan of Arc and all sorts. So there's a lot of history there. And then I just fell in love with those knives. Really, I went down a rabbit hole of this French rabbit hole. But also the thing is, people think of me as the French person, but I've got more Sheffields, or equally as much Sheffield knives as I've got.
It's funny how
French
things
knives,
come back to Sheffield, isn't it? And
it's how I fell in love with how it's made. I think that's what I fell in love with. I romanticize everything. It's just how I am. I'm just a romantic.
Yeah.
So it was just lovely. Like I held something, and it felt like class. It was different. It just felt different.
Different, isn't it? I mean, if you have a Victorinox, this is a small one, but I mean, they're really good quality and very functional.
Yeah.
And but it's not, they're not handmade, are they? It's not.
No.
It's not the same as something that that one person put together and made and shaped.
Yeah.
It's much different. And how about you, Sean? So.
Yeah, I mean, I've really kind of gone down the traditional route big time. I mean, I did venture into modern knives several years ago, and I still enjoy some modern knives. Probably the reason I don't have more modern knives at the moment, or haven't bought many modern knives recently, is because I'm down such a rabbit hole with the kind of real traditional stuff. You can only do so much, can't you? You can only buy so many.
Yeah.
Have you got a good example to show us, Sean,
of a traditional knife?
Yeah.
Well, while you've been talking, I've been fondling my wooden handled knife. Wooden handled knife, I said.
Okay.
Hang on. Let's.
What is this? This is a Wade and Butcher, and this was one I picked up several years ago, and it's just a really nice little knife.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It's on the small side for my hands, but it's got twin blades, obviously, little blade, and then almost like a soddy kind of.
Definitely looks like a soddy, yeah.
It's even got a little toothpick in the metal toothpick in the covers.
Yeah.
And when I bought this, it was in a hell of a state. It was from I think it was a car boot sale or somewhere or other. Picked it up.
It's got fantastic action to it, Sean, with its age and everything.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good few years old. But yeah, back springs are lovely and tight. And I think it's just the more you kind of look into these things, and I think Elan kind of hit on this earlier when he was talking about the history of stuff. But you look back at the conditions these guys worked in, and still do.
And still do.
Yeah. Yeah.
The amount of people that were employed in the cutlery industry was phenomenal.
Yeah.
People specialising in grinding and forging and, all these different skills that these people had. And then the ability to produce some really nice knives.
Yeah.
And this has got some lovely wood on it.
Yeah.
And it's got those rat tail bolsters, which I love.
Yeah.
Right. You don't see many on the UK knives now, but the Germans
Yeah.
still have them. An Otter 3 rivet there with those bolsters. Bolsters on. So, I can't remember what the bloody question was, Mark. But
yeah, it's hard to explain when you hold one in your hand. It's got like magic or something.
Yeah,
there's like sort of magic to it or mysticism to it. I don't know how to describe it really. It's just
because that was going to be my sort of next question really, and this is one of the things which is sort of what sort of items give you the fizz like that, because I don't feel that I get the fizz yet, but I'm still waiting for that. But
you'll find it eventually, Mark. You'll find it eventually.
So Sean, what sort of knives give you the fizz, and you think, that?
Well, that definitely does.
Sean gives me the fizz.
But all sorts of knives give me the fizz. Going
Show
out.
us another one, Sean. Show us another one.
I know. I'm just trying to decide which one to show you. That's the trouble. Even it's not the one I thought it was. Where is it? So one thing you can pick up relatively easy, second hand, are these little twin blade pocket knives.
Yeah.
Stainless steel covers, but this is an old Taylor's Eyewitness. And this is I picked up at the weekend. It's a bit oily because I've been cleaning it up. Where have I put my? There we go. Cloth. But yeah, you can probably just about make out the stamps on the.
Just about, yeah.
But the grinding on the blades, the swedging on these, considering you can pick them up relatively cheap now, there's some work went into them, and they're well made. I mean, still got a bloody good snap on it.
Yeah.
Another little one I picked up this weekend with worked back springs.
Yeah, that gives me the fizz. Work back springs always gives me the fizz.
Yeah, I can sort of understand that because it's
It's just another Sheffield one, but it just says made in Sheffield on it.
Yeah.
If you're talking about real fizz, it's the kind of customs, isn't it? You know, the Ashley customs, for instance.
Where's the Sow Billy shop? I know it's close.
It is very close, and it seems to be living in this slip.
Yeah. Oh,
that's cracking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Snake wood. Yeah.
And it's funny you should show us sour belly because you know sour bellies in Sheffield, and it always makes me think of TK and of course Mikey, and I've just noticed that they're together. Let's
agreeing to go live.
Hey guys,
we're live.
Oh no, Triple's arrived.
And we are again.
So how you doing, Mikey?
Oh,
I'm very well, chaps. How are you?
Oh.
I'm glad that was his face.
I know.
Yeah, you should, no, don't. What? Why did a knife fall out?
Oh wait.
It's sort of what we expect. So have you had a good haul today as well, Mikey?
Not today. This is the first day that I've not bought a knife yet.
Do you want to see the
What?
show the two I bought today?
Well, it's Sunday, so.
Do you have a special one with you there, Mikey?
No.
A special one for a certain special day?
No, I'm not revealing that until the day, Elan.
Okay.
Oh.
I have got my.
Elan, that one did turn up. The second one.
Okay. I'm glad. Yeah.
I did get my Magna Cut custom shot back.
Right.
Finger groove with a cherry red.
And it's really red.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that.
Nobody cares what this is. I guess.
They do care.
Yeah.
It's
going away.
It's as craggy as a teenager's face.
What's that for these, John? But with these,
This is the
Lisa
newest
Hatchie.
Rosecraft.
yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Available at the booth only.
Sold out now.
It'll be made available throughout later on. But
Drop in on Tuesday the 11th.
this is the Lucahassid Jack with the stag handles.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Andy and the guys were fantastic. They were so funny.
Yeah, such a great show.
Yeah.
And we met Kaylin as well, and Thomas MD.
Yeah, Kaylin was there.
Kaylin brought us all gifts. We all got a custom handled sharp finger, USA one.
Oh, that he had done himself.
This is oak from the tree in his garden.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Which is like pretty cool. I was like really pleased with that. That's really nice. And then he gave me this old on the second day. This old penknife as well, really old one.
Camillus.
Really worn, sort of scales on it. Really, really nice.
Yeah.
Amazing gifts. I had lots of gifts waiting when I got here as well. I had gifts from Zen and John as well. And this was from John, and this is quite spectacular.
Blinking
Wow.
heck. Blinking heck.
USA trade.
Oh.
And it's much bigger than a buck 110.
Bloody hell.
That is a big boy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really nice though.
Are the handles on that stag or elk or
Stag.
Stag.
stag? Okay.
And then me and John had a little trip to Chavez, and that is the Chavez slip joint.
Yeah.
Very
That's
nice.
like-
They call it, or stone, was it? Or rock?
This is rocked,
That's
so
Rocked, fully rocked.
these are normally just like plain titanium handles, but this was the show special.
Yeah.
And this is fantastic. This is one of the knives that I came for.
Even I like it.
And it's a modern.
I would have bought one if it wasn't for the blade shape, because the blade shape's terrible.
Oh, I think they make one with another blade shape, I'm sure.
They don't. I asked. It's only that one.
Oh. Oh.
I nicknamed that one the Ben Grimm for
It's not a
Grim.
spade blade, Slippy. What are you
No, it's
complaining?
Tanto. It's bad.
reminds me a bit of the Thing.
And this is the little buck Larin in the Magna Cup that I picked up as well.
What
Oh,
did you
that
say?
is cute.
I said this is the buck Larin in the Magna Cup. Thank you for buying my knife. You're welcome many times. Thank you for
Did you
coming
meet
back.
Larin?
No, Buck weren't there.
Oh, okay.
We met
Yeah,
Larry's
yeah, we
uncle.
didn't see them on the list when Paddy was going through the list of.
Yeah, Buck weren't there, but we did meet his uncle. Yeah,
We
Was it
saw his
Thomas?
uncle.
Thomas, I think his name was.
Thomas is the last name.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what his first name was. It was Laren's uncle.
John. His first name was John.
No.
John Thomas.
There's always one.
I had to pick up a
Oh.
French guy.
French and Italian together.
I had to pick out a large Duke.
Yeah.
Look at this sticker that
We're
John's
gonna
got.
try not to touch tips.
I like that one, John. That's
That
is,
that is stunning.
Antonini.
Antonini, yeah.
This is Elano.
Oh, yes, yes.
Do you have a one?
No, Heine's had them in, didn't they? I don't know whether they still have.
They are. I've just checked.
Yeah.
To cut on my pizza.
They also make a nice soddy as well.
There's a pokey in the ear. Clean the earwax at the hold still. There you go. Ah, yes, there's the earwax.
This is going to need some work, but this is an old case that I picked up
From 20 to 46 or
from
26 to 40.
from 1926 to 1940 dated. It's a single-bladed trapper.
Oh, did that used to be Tony's?
The action on it is amazing, but it's going to go to a certain custom maker in Sheffield for a bit of TLC.
Oh.
The bone on it is amazing.
Yeah.
Get a real good zoom on that one. Here,
Hang
I
on,
need somebody with longer arms.
let me do this.
There we have it.
Wow.
Look at how
Yeah.
smooth that is.
that's cool.
Proper pocket one.
Better. He's got like a booger on it, but he won't take it off.
That's the shield.
No, there's some booger on the shield. Just there.
That one's great. It's such a cool one.
It's
Yeah.
no booger. Maybe dry glue.
Whoa.
No booger. There's no booger on my knife, boy.
There is now.
Yeah, and you don't need to worry about breaking the tip either, do you?
No, the tip came pre-broken.
It came
right.
pre-Sean.
Yeah,
It's a really you gotta.
yeah. I'm really
Yeah,
sorry for the
what
people
did
in
you
the
pay
chat.
for that? You paid what,
I've
$5?
ignored
$5.
everybody.
$5 for this thing. He's gonna get it, fixed up.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I feel like I need to go wash my hand after touching that thing. Now I gotta be honest with you.
That is the only problem with the older knives, isn't it? Like that?
Here's one of the latest from Case.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Is
What do
that thicker than the than the normal boned ones.
It is thicker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deepa Kakanyan jig atom bone.
And that's in 1095 carbon.
It's a
Oh.
carbon steel blade. Just like everybody likes the 1095. It's kind of a little bit thicker than the normal the bone ones that you get. A little bit thicker.
Makes it feel a bit more substantial to use rather than being scared it's going to crack.
Yeah, and the fit finish is pretty superb on this one because we
have you eye hopped it yet?
Say again?
Have you eye hopped it yet?
Oh, we hopped 3 times.
Them tuners, to get them tuners on the blade.
EFDM.
Yeah.
Don't worry, boy, man. I have them tuners on it soon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I picked up an old bear as well.
Also an Antonini.
Yeah.
Who want the old bear that we saw Slippy manhandling, was it?
Well, that old bear is now taken out a restraining order.
Yeah.
Along with Melissa, I guess, Mikey. Yeah?
It did have quite a shocked look on his face.
And Brianna.
Who's Brianna, Mikey?
I have no idea.
Mikey fell in love with the waitress at IHOP.
Yeah. Not surprised.
She had the secretary glasses on, and he was swooning.
Yeah.
Don't.
He was as red as a tomato. Yeah.
Barely speak. He was so smitten with her that we had to do all the ordering. There's a nice little Bear and Son that Matt bought for me. We got that for $10.
Yeah.
USA made Bear and Rosewood.
They didn't have the price for it, so they just had to make up a price. And they just threw a $10 price tag. Said, "Here you go." Same with the case that he got.
I got the Black Delrin Sodbuster and that for $10 each.
Oh, it's a little stainless blade. Still has the box on
the old style box which says Bear MGC.
But the barcode or the UPC wasn't in their system, so they didn't know what the price was.
So it must have been there for quite a while.
Yeah, I imagine so. So really cool little piece there. Thank you, Matt, for that.
Welcome.
What you got there? Oh, there's the.
I finally picked up these otters.
Yeah.
That TK had been looking after for me.
Oh yes, the weaver's knife, weaver messer.
Yeah, it's really nice. I really like it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I forget to mention they at the case booth they were giving out these little case sheets for free, American made. So if you were lucky enough to get hold one.
They went pretty quick though, didn't they?
Yeah,
they didn't have many.
Yeah.
Didn't have many. I think they kind of prioritized those that were buying. So that's not how that works. You don't get it for free, but you get it if you buy something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the show was amazing. It was I've never seen anything like it, and apparently Blade Show Atlanta's like 4 times bigger.
Wow. Okay.
You never get around it, Mark. Honestly, it was so big.
Is that the plan for next year then, Atlanta?
No. I think that would overwhelm me. To be honest with you.
Tagged out.
Yeah. And how many days left on the trip? Oh, I think the hamsters have died. Did John kick the power cable?
I think they're both looking at something that's caught their eye.
Right. We're maybe come back later. I just realised that we've been running for quite a long time. Let me just.
Yeah, I'm surprised we still have viewers.
Just a few. Few. Let me just pick one more question, then we'll go. Have I got another question? Let me see. Yeah, let's just do this one, and then we're going to keep carry scrap. So what have been your challenges as a collector? If we start off with you, Elan.
Okay. Patience, discipline, Self-control.
And is this to do with your questions? Sorry, not your questions, your rules, Elan. Because you make it difficult for yourself, don't you?
Yeah, I chastise myself for fun.
So you want to explain your rules just in case people haven't.
Well, I have a rule of I have 20. I can have a maximum of 20.
Yeah.
And I'm currently selling 7 of those 20. So I'm selling 35% of my entire collection, basically. But I do have some rules. So currently, the rules like fluctuate, but currently it has to be UK legal. Often, like I gravitate towards the handmade stuff, something with a great story or history. Matches my ethos. It doesn't even have to be old. It could be just somebody making something from their shed, or but they just love what they do, and they're just passionate about it, and they do it as a pastime or hobby. And something I added recently is must be made to last a lifetime. Is something I've put down recently. By that I mean it could be anything, because a buck could last a lifetime. Like with the warranty, and it doesn't have to be something incredibly expensive. It's just something that can be a companion to me almost all my life, really. It's like having that one watch your granddad wore his whole life until it stopped ticking. And he wore it for 50 years, and then he stopped wearing it because it broke. That sort of thing. I want to buy things that will just last me that period of time. I've decided to do that with a lot of things. It's not just it's clothes. It's a lot of things, really. It's like when you go to you can go to IKEA to buy flat pack furniture, or you could go to that air ambulance shop or charity shop, and you can find that piece of furniture that they're selling for 10 quid, but it's actually built properly, properly built by a craftsman, but it's from like 1890, but it's still around, and all it's got is a few scratches on it, and all it needs is a little bit of love, and that'll last another 100 years. Yeah.
And I think I said a while ago, I don't want to buy any more furniture that I have to nail the back on.
Yeah.
And IKEA tends to be like that. But I like that. Any other rules, Elan, or is that?
It's just a 20 rule, unless it's given to me. So
okay.
I'm gonna start winking. No, but it's just if something I what I've found out is the knives that are given to me have actually been some of the knives I carry the most, because they become super sentimental, and I enjoy carrying them, and I have to carry all my knives. I can't have something sitting in a drawer. If it's been sitting for a while, it's already on the sell pile, really. In the side of my mind. Yeah.
Because the one that Randy gave me, the Victorinox money clip.
Yeah.
And I end up carrying this quite a lot. Not just because Randy gave it to me and the slip and stuff, but just because it's a really useful knife, and so it has sentimental reasons, as well as it being useful. Because I don't like to have stuff that doesn't have a good use. So I think that's a nice thing about a gifted knife.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I think gifting a knife is like a special gift. It's hard to explain. I think especially for boys, maybe. When you're growing up, I think the fact that I was gifted that ambassador, given that ambassador by my granddad, it sort of left an impression, and maybe that's why gravitate towards them now because they have something special about them. When I gift one to somebody, it really means something. Like I've given away a lot of knives over the past few years. They haven't necessarily been ultra expensive. Maybe I got a good deal on them, but all of them were special. You know, I really thought about it when I give something to somebody. When somebody asks me, somebody always asks you for a knife, maybe at work or a friend or something. They know you carry one, so they ask, to do a little task or a job or something.
Yeah.
And I think if you just turn around and just, there you go, you can have it. There's something special that happens there. It's hard to explain. Yeah, it's hard to put into words for me. You create a bond. Yeah, it's a bond there.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And Sean, do you have any challenges as a collector? Did you have any rules or anything?
Funny. I don't really have any rules, not that I'm particularly conscious of. I do, if I'm buying a new knife, I tend to think about it longer than I probably used to do. Unless I can actually, what I'm talking about really is online. If I can actually handle the knife and open it and close it and feel what it's like in my hand, that's different. But buying online, I tend to be more cautious, probably not the right word, but about it a little bit longer, because I've bought stuff in the past thinking I'm going to really, that was really nice, I really like that, I really like it. Then you buy it and it's a nice knife, but it's not quite what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And it's kind of almost that you get the buzz from buying it, and then it's a bit of an anticlimax when you get it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because there's anything wrong with it or whatever. It's more to really fit you.
There's a trick I use. I don't always keep to it, mind, but I do my best. It's I think we're shown things all the time, and it's really easy for us to just run and go for something. And I think I got distracted maybe on my birthday at the end of last year, where I maybe bought 2 or 3 knives, and they weren't really what I'd been hankering for or thinking of. I just saw them and just thought they were beautiful and gorgeous and just went, and just bought them. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really put thought into it. Otherwise, I would have had one of my other grails probably by now. But it's if you have a knife in your mind, leave it for 3 to 6 months. If that knife is still on your mind, it's probably a good bet that you really want it. You have to leave it.
Time, Elan. I thought you were going to say leave it a couple of days. Yeah.
No, it's the best thing to do, because it will evaporate. The desire to have it will evaporate unless it's something you truly want. So it's a really great way of doing something, actually. Yeah.
No, I think it's good to have a cooling off period, and I know I've spent a lot of time, and well, not a huge amount of money, but I probably bought more Victorinox than I intended to, looking for that perfect set of tools. And I always find that there's a tool missing or something like that. I think the Farmer X is probably the closest I've come to having. Or actually, Slippy's Custom is pretty.
Oh, that's a human. That's a human.
And so I think I'm sure I'm going to buy some more Victorinox, especially if they're the shiny Alox ones, and I haven't got one of those already.
Yeah.
It's not quite the fizz, but it's definitely.
It's getting close.
but I think eventually when I've got the models that I want, I think I'm going to look and try and spec up a custom that's just what I want. But we'll see. Anyway, I think it's time for keep, carry, scrap.
Okay.
So, now, apologies first, Elan. Okay.
I'm
just gonna say let.
I hope it can't get worse than the last time. It can't, can it? It can't.
Let's see. So, I've done it slightly differently here. So it's going to come up in one at a time. And just to let you know that they're all French. Okay.
Oh.
So, yeah, here we go. This is the first one.
A pocket peeler optional. Okay.
Because I just thought this was so handy. You know, who doesn't want to have a peeler in their pocket?
Well, in the kitchen, it'd be perfect, actually. Yeah. Nice
or if you're out and about and you want to peel a.
Well, I always eat the skin because that's the best. That's the bit that's always good for you.
It and just eat the skin and throw the rest away if you want. That's the choice. Here's the second one, which is also an open L, but I quite like the. You know, this is one I quite like the look of.
Yeah, it's a filleting knife. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a nice shape. I like the look of the handle, and then the third one, it's also an open L.
I just wish you would have had, you know, one of those that was UK legal in blade length. Mark, to be honest with you, because the only one I can legally carry is the pocket peeler.
Oh, is that the one you're going to carry? Then?
No, it's the only one I can legally carry.
Oh, hang on. There's a few people unsipping here. Well, if you hang around, then we've got some of Elan's Grail knives coming up shortly, and then we'll do another keep, carry, scrap with those. So, So which one would you keep then, Elan? Which you don't have to carry?
I'd keep the slimline. Yeah, the feel. Yeah. I'd carry the chaperone. I'd carry that. Yeah, because I do carry an opinel anyway, so it's not. You know, I'll just. Oh, I'm on a hike.
Just if you're hiking, yeah.
Yeah. And I've cut myself more on a peeler than I have on anything else, actually, especially a salamander. Yeah, I've cut myself on peelers more often than anything else, actually. Yeah, so I'd use the pocket peeler as firewood.
Okay, fair enough. And Sean?
Oh, Mark.
I know.
You know, I'm going to be honest, Mark. I want to stuff the feel after that.
We've got some nicer knives coming up in a bit. So Sean, are there any of these that you would keep or carry?
I'm not averse to an opinel. I've got an old one here.
Yeah.
I've got several opinels. Very, very slight blades.
Yeah.
You know.
And do you like any of these?
I do like the slimline, and I like both the other two. Just don't like that peeler.
I mean, is that peeler even considered a knife?
I don't know. It can cut. It's.
I mean, I don't think I can open a box with it.
I'll have the corkscrew.
It'll come in more handy, Sean.
I mean, I do quite like the slimline, and I thought the chaperone looked more interesting with the marquetry on it.
Yeah. Mark, this is so bad I might have to drink again.
Oh, yeah. I was just looking. I think generally people don't like it. I think Chirk would keep the ebony one, carry the and scrap. I think most.
Yeah.
TK's trash, smash, and stash. I don't know where it's going to stash. Does that mean keep the last one?
You're going to smash the.
I don't.
What the?
And
how does one do that?
Scrap, keep, carry, which I think is fair enough. And I think Griff is just shaking his head. Benny's scrap, keep, carry as well. So just before we go to the other one, so my next question was, do you have a grail item? If I start with Sean first,
okay.
So Sean, is there a grail knife that you know that your life will be complete, your collection, you may stop collecting when you find it? Is there something?
No. There's not a knife that I will buy and then stop collecting.
Okay. Is there one that you think is the pinnacle, could be the pinnacle of your collection?
The nearest thing I can think to that would be an Ashley Custom.
Yeah. A Britbuster, Sean? Yeah.
Ooh. But you have that, Sean. So what's your grail now then?
The next one.
That's fair enough. I think that's a good answer, actually.
Next one. Next. Yeah, to me, a grail, I guess, would be something that's probably no longer made. That you can't, something really old, but in really good condition that you'd never be able to replace.
Yeah.
Who's a Sheffield maker you'd like to have that's no longer around then?
God.
Which pattern?
I wish I'd bought more Trevor Ablets.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where are they all though? Where are? Because how many knives did he make in his life?
They're out.
And where are they now?
They're out there somewhere.
Yeah.
They're out there somewhere.
Okay.
That's why I like going and looking.
We need to become pickers, Sean.
Get
a van, get a white van going around people's houses.
Do you know that could work? Okay, thanks, Sean. And Elan, then should we take a look at your grails, because you sent me some pictures? Yeah.
I'm not sure if everybody will be a fan of these, but I am.
See, and then we can do a keep, carry, scrap. So
yeah.
Okay, let me just get the layout right.
No, it's not those.
No. Oh, and just if anybody was interested in the price.
No.
So yeah.
Wow. Okay, the two on the left are just way too expensive for what they are. Yeah, it's just too expensive.
They are quite expensive for an open L. Yeah. So okay, so let's move on to some proper quality. Do you want to talk us through?
Okay. Okay, so these, if I remember correctly, they're all UK legal. The Zouave might not be. It might be maybe a couple of millimeters too long, but yeah. The first one on the top is called the Chamois, which is an Ibex. And Fontenay-le-Plateau, I've been making knives since 1929. And they're my favourite maker, not just in France, but in the world, basically. They're my favourite knife producer. Not talking custom, one person. We're talking a company. And they have around 10 cutlers. And each knife is handmade by one cutler that they make. And they're semi-customs, basically. They're all semi-customs, and you can choose what handle material, carving of the back spring, the steel, nickel silver, or steel bolsters, or brass bolsters. You can just choose everything about the knife almost, and their quality is absolutely outstanding. I already have one from them. This one. And if you look at the handle shape of the chamois, it's the same as this one, basically. But this is a clip point, and that one's a fat spear, and that's basically the difference, really, between the two. Maybe there's a little bit less of a swoop, but yeah, this is this was a grail knife for me, and it's probably the best knife in my entire collection, probably, or one of. That one's just gorgeous, and the company was taken over by Gilles Steinberg in the 90s, and he was in his early 20s, I think, and he completely transformed the company to start making high-end, incredibly high-quality knives. And the fit and finish, everything's just immaculate about them. And now it's owned by Jan Good and his wife, who had already worked there for maybe 5 or 10 years. Yeah. And they run it now, yeah. And if you have Gilles stamped on the blade, it's a higher end model.
Right.
Yeah. The little one, the Fontainebleau bolster, the pearl on there, that is a knife maker called made by Jan Nomin. And he trained as a cutler in Thiers and La Guiole for 5 years combined before he fully qualified as a cutler. And after those 5 years, he moved to a little hamlet called Signy in La Gevenraie. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm really trying. I'm really trying. And this is one of the models he made. And he also made the Fontainebleau, and one was called the Grimpeur. And he makes them in different sizes. And this one, he makes one in the UK legal size. And I want one like that, but without the Suminagashi blade. So if you know what Suminagashi is, you've got the main steel in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you've got a softer steel on the outside. And then the softer steel on the outside is folded over and over and stamped down. And it strengthens the spine of the blade, basically, stop it from snapping in half. But the main steel in the middle is a hard carbon steel, basically. Yeah. And then the next one is...
You have one with a similar sort of butt to that, don't you?
I do, yeah. This one. Yeah. This is L'Austral by Robin Forissier. Yeah. Absolutely superb knife, that is. But yeah, I've been enamored with that one for ages. I just think it's gorgeous, basically. And then the next one here is an Italian-made knife in Scarperia. And Scarperia is famous for having these two towers. One of them leans a lot, incredibly. And it's about 10 kilometers, 10 miles outside of Florence, Scarperia is. And it was like a suburb, basically, and it grew, especially during the Renaissance period. And this family started making handmade cutlery again there in the mid-90s and reviving old patterns, old Italian patterns, especially from the Renaissance period, because crime was rife. And there were all sorts of blade shapes, a very famous ones, Cinquecento, which is like the 5 fingers, which is famous in Venice, for example. It was like a dagger with a very, very thick dagger, basically. A very short, stout, thick dagger, basically, to protect yourself. That was the idea. But the Zouave is actually named after French light infantry in the Napoleonic Wars, the Zouaves. And they carried this knife basically, to do their daily work, and that's where it comes from. And it caught on. It started off as an Algerian regiment of the French army, and eventually it just became entirely French, or basically, and that's a pattern they revived and started making, and you can find it in a lot of places, that Zouave pattern across North Africa and the Mediterranean. Yeah. It's just lovely. It's just lovely knife. Yeah,
it's cool. And just for the people in the chat, so do you have a favorite amongst these three? Of I won't do keep, carry, scrap, because it's unfair, as these are your grail knives. But does anybody have a favorite that they like amongst these? I think somebody liked the chamois. I think that was Griff likes the Zouave.
Yeah.
Chirk like the chamois.
I think the chamois is one that I gravitate towards most, I think. But I think it's because I already own a knife from that maker that I adore. And I think it makes it a little easier then for you to, explain the expenditure, I suppose. Yeah.
I take it these aren't cheap knives, otherwise you'd have them, yeah?
They're not extremely expensive. Well, it's relative to the person, really, what you're comfortable spending. But they're all under £200. They're all under €200. I mean, I think the Zouave you can get for maybe just over €100. The Fontainebleau, depending on what blade steel you want and what handle material you want. And then the chamois, it just depends what. If you get all the added extras, it becomes quite expensive. But if you just want a plain one, it's a lot more affordable. Yeah. But they're just, I'm just enamored. I've just been down this rabbit hole. I'm not sure if anybody in the chat has ever even heard of these. I've just been down a rabbit hole where I search for certain makers' history. I try to find UK legal made knives from all the different countries in Europe, basically, and the traditional patterns within them. And I really like learning the history of things and how they're made and things like that. Yeah.
I think Tony might be asking you more questions about where it's from. I guess he means the Scarperia one.
That's Italian. Yeah.
So do you think for you then, Elan, that's part of the fun of collecting is that research part and I really love these obscure makers.
I do really love history, and I think I really like carrying something that's made by some. It's the same reason why I carry slips. I carry a Griff slip. I know who made it. I carry a Dave slip. I carry a Lynn slip. And they've all got a specific knife. Two Randy slips. It's just it's a specific knife for each one, and everything's just. I just look at one in the morning and I go, eeny, miny, mo, and then I pick that up and off I go. It's just there's something special about it to me. I have to fall in. I like stories, basically. I like falling in love with stories.
I think you like to fall in love with the knife, don't you, Elan?
Yeah.
You sort of,
it sleeps with me in bed. Yeah.
Sean, show us a knife. Sorry for the people in the chat. We've sort of talked a lot. I quite like these shows, but I know that they might not always be interesting for people.
No, you're not. Which knife shall I show? I'll tell you what I'll show you. This is a Needham Brothers Sheffield. So you've got mother of pearl. You've got the coining or the milling, whichever you prefer to call it, on the brass liners. So you've got two relatively small blades, but then you've got this nail file and nail cleaning tool at the end. And that was less than £5.
What the hell?
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think that's because knives are not popular at the moment? Do you think that's depressed the price, or do you think that's just?
Well, it didn't look like I bought it. It was dirty.
Yeah.
And depends where you buy them from. I mean, you know, some people know a little bit, which, as they say, a little bit of knowledge can be dangerous. It doesn't mean to say they know what they know is correct, but they have an idea about certain things which can be right, can be totally wrong.
Yeah.
Other people not interested, don't really care. They just, you know, this was, I think, was bought as a job lot, part of a job lot.
Right.
It was dirty. It just needed cleaning up, and you know, the guy wasn't really interested in knives, and yeah.
I think the American stuff is more collectible because they numbered their knives.
Yeah.
So they're much easier to date, for example, and much easier to collect because of that.
Very true.
And I think that's maybe a reason why they're even popular here to collect as well. It's not necessarily just the American market that's boosting it. It's, you know, if you find a European knife, we have great difficulty trying to find certain, you know, where something's made or who made it, or, you know, sometimes you'll just have the country of origin stamped on the blade, for example. You won't have anything else at all. You know, how often do you have just made in Sheffield? Maybe, you know, like probably the most collectible things in the Sheffield knives are silver knives or silver bladed knives, the fruit knives, because they're stamped with the year of manufacturer with a hallmark of the silver.
Yeah, you can, obviously that makes the whole thing of dating them a lot easier, doesn't it? But I mean, it's notoriously difficult to date a lot of the Sheffield knives. Where was that other one?
Mikey was just asking how's the back spring on that, Sean.
The back spring is good on that one. So I haven't got it with me on the table here, but I bought a small HM Slater, similar sort of size to that, twin blade knife, and it was all as it should be. It needed cleaning up, and I don't know, it's an absolute mystery, but the back spring has broken, and I don't know where there's part of it missing, and it definitely wasn't. It was all there, but the bit that's left in the knife, you can see that it looks like it's had a previous break, where it's, you know, it looks dirty, and then there's a it's kind of just over halfway through a fresh break.
Yeah,
so they've already been damaged, and I don't know when it happened or how it happened, but it happened since I got it home, and it was, like I say, both Lynn and I looked at it in the shop, and it was all good then. So God knows.
That's a bummer that it had survived so long and then it's gone.
Yeah. But
are you going to get it fixed, Sean?
Possibly. It's, you know, the thing is, it's whether it's financially worth it. I've bought a few to with a view to getting them worked on.
Yeah.
There's this one, which is a Maplin and Webb, and it's got a really thick.
Oh yeah.
Blade. But it's a whittler. Got two smaller blades at the other end. But the covers, they're mother of pearl again, but they're damaged. That end,
Right.
that side, and that end on that side. And I'm thinking of getting it recovered with some wood. But it's still, plenty of snap at it, plenty of meat on the bone. Not had a lot of wear at all. But just a bit of damage to it. But
yeah,
again, paid nothing for it really. It's cheap, very cheap.
Right.
So,
this seems to be the place to go then, to antique shops and.
Well, it's I wouldn't want to give you the impression it's all a bed of roses, because you can go and look and see and find nothing.
Do you like the hunt, Sean? Do you like the hunt?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of it. It's looking and seeing what you can find. We've just lately we've had some good days. We found some good stuff, but in the past, I know I've been out so many times looking and seen absolutely nothing of any interest or any use. Funnily enough, the guy in the shop on Saturday, I'd been there over an hour looking at these knives, sorting through them. There were loads more, but I kind of sorted through what I thought I was interested in. And then he said, "Oh, I'll just show you these two," and he brought out two horrendous Franklin Mint knives. These. Do you know what I mean when I say a Franklin Mint knife?
No, Sean.
They're made by a company that sells them in like the Sunday magazine that you get with your Sunday newspaper, like John Wayne or somebody on them. The collector's knives, they're not the sort of thing you'd want to use.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
And that's the thing is with me, I want to be able to collect knives that you could use if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some knives I've got that I wouldn't use, but they're not made to use, if you know what I mean. Anyway.
Yeah. We've got a question here from Stuart. So, is there a good way to find a birth year knife?
Pick a manufacturer that basically has a numbering system. You can pick any manufacturer. Mainly, they're American.
Ace for a start.
Yeah. A Case is a great one. Camillus. You'll be able to find one. Yeah, you'll be able to find one then.
Yeah.
And they have the dot system with Case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, some of the army knives have a year on as well. So, including the British Army knives, they have a date on. They tend to be cheaper if you're in the UK. The Victorinox made ones tend to be quite expensive. When you're as old as I am, they get expensive.
Yeah. The Victorinox are harder to date as well. You have to. SACWiki is a great website for finding the right tank stamp for that. Yeah.
Is it Victorinox who made the Dutch army knives? I think they have a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But otherwise, it's quite hard. So.
That's a Dutch one.
Yeah. So that's Mikey's birth year, yeah? I'm looking for a 62, but I think a British Army knife would probably be a cheaper one for me.
Yeah.
Well, this was one I picked up at the weekend.
Oh, cool. Well, I know where I need to go now. Then I need to go and look at some antique shops and fairs, I think. Yeah. Any other questions from the chat? So we've been rambling on a long time. I've really enjoyed it. It's been just like sitting in the pub or
yeah, it's been great. Yeah, especially having the boys pop in and out as well, showing their
yeah. So that was great too. So yeah. Sorry, Byron, you missed it. If you do go back and look at it, I'd skip past that and look at and look at Elan's Grail knives. The keep carry scrap was not one of my better ones. It was an idea that I thought was funny that probably wasn't. So
it was funny that the only one that was UK legal was
yes, and I forgot about your rules as well. So that's the hamster duck. Yeah. Yeah, I think that is Stonehenge actually, TK, just by a few years. Although maybe Paddy's older than Stonehenge. That's any other questions from the chat? Otherwise, I think we've been going for a while now. It might be time to
yeah, please ask them. Yeah.
So Byron's busy burning his dinner, and I think. Yeah. So I think some of those military ones might be good. Yeah. So I'd like to oh, hang on. TK's got a question. Has he got a question, or is he just setting me up?
Go on, John. Don't be inappropriate.
Is it coming? Has a hamster died?
He's just got big thumbs on a tiny keyboard.
Maybe. Right, I think we'll have to save that till next time, TK. So I think time's getting a bit late here in the UK. I hope the guys enjoy. Oh, here we go.
Porn.
How else would you say
porn?
Pound? Porn. Right. Anyway. Oh, sorry. I'm not sure that was worth waiting.
Don't press. Only the little finger on his chest. Just to press on.
This is for the hamsters. Right. Anyway, thanks, Stuart. Appreciate that.
Thank you,
it's
Stuart.
Nice to get back in the saddle. And we'll work on something for next week. Same time, same slot. Big thank you to Elan for jumping in and telling us about his collection and motivation for that.
It always nice to have an excuse to get dressed.
Yeah, it's good. And as always, great to have Sean on the show. I'm very envious of his latest findings and think I need to maybe go and look.
It's nice to live vicariously through him, you know.
Yeah, I think so, and I think the same with the guys in the US. So great to see what they've been out there buying. I hope they have a good rest of the trip and a safe journey back. Look forward to seeing them and seeing their purchases in the Discord group and on their channels where they have them. We might even get a video out of Mikey with any luck, which would be great. So thanks, everyone. And we'll catch you here same time next week. Certainly Sean and I will let Elan go and I'll work on some new guests. If somebody's got a collection and hasn't got a channel and they'd like to come on the show, please just let us know. We'd be happy to have them on here, especially Welsh Tony, or also known as Blade in Wales. We're always
FFS.
If somebody has a channel and they'd like to come on and talk a bit about their channel and what got them into YouTube and show a load of knives, then just let me know as well. I'm always happy to have people on. It's just fun having a chat with people.
Yeah, let's get Benny on to talk about his pens.
I think Benny is on my list of to go to. So if I don't catch you, drop me an email. Anyway, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of the Sunday, And we'll catch you soon.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Good night.
everyone.
We'll start.
Bye. Bye.